Oh goodness, Miss Barrymore, you are just the finest of the fine. You and I should run away together. Why, if I was digging your gold, I wouldn't have to do this stupid handful of minutes gig anymore. Yeah, I know we're recording. What, you want to fight about it?
Maybe you want to watch it, maybe you want to play it, or maybe you just want to know a little bit more about it before going to see the new Ellen Page movie, Whip It. Whatever the case, you could do a lot worse than to watch this week's review on roller derby. Hearing that a demonstration of the sport was going to be provided at the Toronto International Film Festival, we decided to hop on the Handful of Minutes private jet and check it out. Not unlike burlesque, roller derby has been around for a while, undergoing many booms and busts, before finally having a really strong resurgence early in the new millennium. Well, as sports go, it's definitely harder to follow than volleyball, but significantly easier than three-dimensional chess or four-dimensional wrestling. Each team gets to put 5 people on the track during a round. Those 5 players are split into 3 positions. First up is the jammer, who wears a star on her helmet, and it's the jammer's job to score points by lapping the other team. 3 defenders with blank helmets try to stop the other team's jammer from doing just that. Finally, you have the striped helmeted pivot, whose primary role is to be the last line of defense, attempting to block the other team's jammer. Games are played in either 3 20-minute or 2 30-minute periods, and, of course, the team with the most points wins. There are a few more rules, but those are the absolute basics needed to follow a game. Another aspect of the game is the aesthetics. A lot of teams opt for colorful or even themed costumes, while pretty much every player takes on a special name of their own creation. Not unlike the Pillow Fight League, names are chosen to let you know that the player is a lady, but also that she is a lady who will crush all who oppose her. So how popular is it? Will you be able to find a game to watch easily? Well, there are 433 registered leagues in the world, so I think it's safe to say that roller derby is not exactly a fringe sport. But when compared to, say, soccer or hockey, it's still very much a fledgling sport. But that's kind of nice, actually, because when you see the teams competing with each other, you still get this kind of feeling that they're all working hard to promote the sport itself, to make this thing work, not unlike pro wrestling in the 1970s. Roller derby is still a long way, however, from having performance enhancement, drug-abusing, spouse-punching prima donnas hijacking the sport with long strikes because they feel that wages, which would make King Midas weep, are not adequate compensation for playing. They still gotta work up to that. I can't say as I have any noteworthy complaints about the game itself, but there's one little thing that's just kinda, borrowing at the back of my head here. You see, as the Toronto International Film Festival roller derby demo people said, there are no balls in roller derby. It's an all-female sport with lots of physicality to it, and as such, it is often marketed as being empowering. Fair enough, the film Whip It is certainly playing with that. While I certainly agree it must be a pretty empowering sport to play, I feel that this aspect of things is undercut sometimes by sexy times. For example, the demo that I attended was advertised in a local paper as featuring all-girl action, which is a phrase I think most of us associate with a different full-contact sport. On top of that, there are some teams who, judging by their websites, definitely like to use costumes and photography to try and push sex appeal as a big reason to come out and see them play. As I say, I feel a little unsure about whether or not sex appeal and sexualized marketing works against the empowering side of the sport. I mean, on the one hand, certainly people can be sexy and in control, but at the same time, well, anyways, I can't make up my mind. Please feel free to deposit your 10 cents on this into the comment section. But pseudo-feminist marketing worries aside, I think roller derby is a great sport, and it definitely deserves the extra attention that Ellen Page and Drew Barrymore's new film is going to give it. I mean, if I had a daughter the right age, I'd definitely encourage her to give it a shot, if only because it's a far better choice of sport than any of the options my mom had when she was young.
I once had a roller derby. It wasn't much of a hat and not much of a mode of transport either, but it was a gift from Grandmama Narrator and I treasured it all the same. They just don't make them like they used to.
But there's one little thing that's kind of gnawing at the back of my head. You see, as the Toronto International Film Festival demo people for the... Again. Sorry. Alright. There are 433 registered leagues around the world, so I think it's safe to say that this is not exactly a...